Among the activities hardest hit by COVID-19 is the schooling system. In India, all schools were shut down by March 19 with little clarity on how they would function and in the absence of a well laid down roadmap ahead. In this episode of So Basically, we'll discuss the ticklish issue of school fee waivers. The unemployment rate in India has hit a record high of 27.1% during the lockdown. More than 120 million workers in India across sectors have lost their jobs. With a number of them being parents, the payment of school fees for their children is a problem staring them in the face. Since parents who lost their jobs or have suffered substantial salary cuts are finding it difficult to afford to pay their children's fees, they have requested the government for a fee waiver. With mounting pressure, a few state and local governments have issued orders stating that all fee collection activities should be suspended by schools till the lockdown is over. Though this has helped ease the pressure on parents, it has shifted the pressure on schools. Budget private schools are confronted with a severe economic crisis, the likes of which they have never witnessed. There are more than 5 lakh budget private schools in the country, offering education to crores of poor and lower middle class students. With parents and certain social and political groups demanding fee waivers, budget private schools are in a jam. After all, how do they pay salaries to their teaching and non-teaching staff if they waive off student fees? Apart from a few big institutions, most schools do not have adequate savings to help them stay afloat even for a few months, let alone for an extended period of time. With profit making strictly banned in school education, such institutions keep reinvesting their surplus that leaves them starved of resources with precious little left for the rainy day if such a situation were to arrive. The government might appear as a knight in shining armor for parents by prohibiting private schools from accepting fees. But in doing so and following a patently populist path, it is overlooking the needs of the school administration and risking the livelihoods of over 2 crore people working in budget private schools. To be sure, this is a tricky situation as a choice needs to be made between lives and livelihoods. But the solution surely cannot lie in forcing institutions to provide free services when they simply can't afford to do so.
School, about almost 50% of all school-going children in the country. They have been built up over the years, perhaps centuries, into institutions, self-sustaining institutions, and they incur a lot of expense in terms of overheads, teachers' salaries, and if they are not allowed to collect fees, their financial futures will be jeopardized.
Direct benefit transfers, or DBTs, have in the last few years become the accepted norm by successive Indian governments to shift the benefits of economic relief to those who need it the most. DBT means that instead of offering subsidies, the government gives money directly to the people. Center for Civil Society has for long advocated DBTs as a more efficient way of providing welfare and encouraging choices. In the case of education, instead of providing fee waivers and putting the schools in a difficult spot, the government could directly give a voucher or a direct cash transfer to parents who have been affected by the lockdown, who can then use it to pay the fees. The schools can bring these vouchers to the government and get reimbursed. This would enable such institutions to pay their staff, and the parents would be less concerned about their children's future in this highly challenging and unique situation. COVID-19 has taken the world by a storm, halting the global economy in its tracks like never before. Policy decisions need to be taken with a lot of thought and care. One wrong step could affect millions of people, and school fee waiver in such trying circumstances is hardly a practical or even a doable solution. It's important to take all stakeholders into account while arriving at such significant policy decisions. For more information, please visit spontaneousorder.in, and as always, like, share and subscribe.